let's see how this turns out. This is this is my first time shooting a video for YouTube with such a nice setup. Now I've got a decent setup in my office that I set up originally for streaming, and it's built primarily for streaming, actually using this camera, but it's not really, or rather using the camera that can see my hands, but I'm using a wide shot on my GoPro. I also have some really nice lights that hopefully I can get some video or a couple of snapshots in on. I think I've got a little bit too much headroom on my GoPro, so I'm actually gonna move that down a little bit. Oh, plenty. That's probably way too much noise. I also got a lavalier microphone on, sorry for bumping it. So this actually feels really good. We'll play around with what the configuration looks like and everything like that, but this is pretty nifty. I may even move the GoPro over here, or even the Canon over here, which is what I'm using again for this hand. It's just a Canon Rebel T6, but I got it in a kit for like 250 bucks, so it's really hard to complain. I think that's what the price was anyway. Anyway, tonight, and I say tonight because it's tonight for me, obviously, and it is probably today for you, but whenever you're watching this, we are, of course, working on this blower. I'm gonna mock out what I wanna do with the chute for this blower in cardboard. And I think that that's probably the best way to do it, because that'll give me a really solid idea of what ends up needing to happen for the actual wood if I decide to do it. I will give you a disclaimer. I am very heavily considering doing a propane forge anyway. The propane seems to get up to temperature much faster, obviously. It's a lot easier to light. Obviously, the downside is it is more expensive, but it's a lot more reliable as far as heat, and I don't have to spend my time being a Boy Scout and learning how to actually start a fire. I know how to start fires, but not well by any stretch, because in my time being in the city, I became a city slicker. So let's show you current state of this, because it's been a little while. I've got this lovely electrical setup here, which is of course a tripping hazard, as all good workshops are supposed to be. We're going to set this up. Hopefully it gets a little bit of power. So right now we've got it set up. I do have a faceplate for this that has the mount point for my tubing, which is somewhere around the shop, I promise. I just don't know where off the top of my head. It's over here. And the issue we were running into is that this 3/4 inch pipe is a very drastic drop for this, I can't remember the actual measurements on it. I have a tape measure right here in my handy dandy drawer in my handy dandy desk or workbench. If you enjoyed that montage, please let me know. I really do enjoy doing those time lapses. It's a lot of fun. It also allows me to listen to music that would normally get copyrighted on YouTube. So anyway, I've got this little tape measure here, and I'm just measuring the orifice, the opening. Yeah, it's about 5.5 inches by probably about 2.5, 5.5 by 2.5 inches. So going from that to this size pipe, not ideal, not ideal at all, because with this design, the silly goose that I am, I didn't consider the fluid dynamics, or the what do you call it? It's not hydrodynamics, it's aerodynamics, duh. Where the wind from the blower is going to hit this block here, and it's essentially just going to hit and then splash back, and it's actually blowing in back underneath this blower here. And the problem with that is I'm not getting any stronger of a wind off of this pipe than I am off of the smaller, already like built up blower that I've got. And when I did my burn-in with a couple of friends not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, that little blower was not doing it to get us up to actual welding temperature. It wasn't even getting us to cherry red all that nicely. So, which is where my doubts started to happen. But that's okay. That's what this channel is about. It's about learning and building off of our failures, honestly, so that we can be a little bit better tomorrow. And if that means we have to buy something, it means we have to buy something. Is that ideal? No. But hopefully you'll walk away from the previous videos, if I do end up buying the propane forge, hopefully, that is if this doesn't work, hopefully you'll find that you don't need to spend the money on this. You've just decided go with the propane if that's the case. If you prefer the coal, or if it's more accessible or cheaper for you than going propane, then go that route as well, or instead of. I'm probably going to keep my charcoal forge regardless, because it does have its uses. It might be very good for lightweight making. It might be cheaper for me to go that route, or if I'm doing mass production of things like bottle openers. In fact, I can show you what I did. And I don't know if you can see this all that well. Maybe I can get a zoom in. It's just an operation of me at the moment, so bear with me. So you can see right here, I have a pretty scaled off bit of steel. And by scaled off, I mean it's got this oxidation here. You can see some hammer blows where I hit off the edge. Obviously, it's much more wide than the regular stock that it comes off of. So this is my first hitting of hot metal in years, and I'm very excited about it. Actually, this is really cool. It's obviously not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to mess around. So I guess it's exactly what I wanted to do. But eventually I want to be able to turn this stock into bottle openers. So this is not going to be that piece, but I can lop off that piece at a safe distance and turn this into something, or turn hopefully the rest of this bar into something else. So we'll get to that eventually. I apologize if I'm a bit sniffly. As per tradition, it is cold outside. So let me fix my camera. So it's cold outside, and of course my kids, one that is about to be 4 and one that turned 2 in December of 2021, one of them came home with a cold at some point, and I'm guessing we got it from the store, which is awful and annoying, but it is what it is, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get this tubing out of the way. I hope that paints a picture, though, of what's happening is that air is hitting this wall and then it's bouncing back, right? So it's eddying and then it's overpowering the forward force of the air, creating a shear is what it's called, and then flowing back in. It's creating all this turbulence, instead of going through our little peephole here. So what I want to do is I want to create a tapering cone or pyramid or what have you, maybe a prismatic pyramid or something along those lines. Prismatic pyramid, does that work? Anyway, I want to take cardboard, I want to turn it into a pyramid or some sort of tapering cone, downward, something that I can represent into a pattern that I can then turn into a wood version of this. In order to do this, I am going to grab some cardboard from the other room. All right, so I've got this this generic Amazon package, which is great. You know, pull that sticker off of there. I finally learned my lesson about the like license plate. Go figure, I'm not shooting in that angle at this point, so that's fun. That's what you want to see. Hopefully there's no other mention of my address here. I don't think so. We're gonna break down this box into flats. I actually got this same idea from a modeling episode from Adam Savage's Tested. Now, obviously this is not the same application as what Adam Savage does, but it's not far off. The whole concept of being a maker is really up his alley. I should probably show you, once again, kind of the power of what we're dealing with here. I don't have a ton of capability, but I've got some paper towels. And off of this, we're getting an all right kind of flow, right? Seems to be coming down. Ooh, that's good to know. That makes sense. It's got a downdraft here. So we may want to leverage that and make our primary blowing strength a little bit more downward and then redirect that upward. So that's something worth knowing, actually. That it's a good thing I turned it on because I hadn't realized that. But it makes sense because we've got a taper down here and a taper here, and they're pointing at this angle downward. So if I can capture that could be really good. It could also give us a third or another point for this to rest on, and then redirect upward at a 90 degree or 45 degree or what have you. 90 degree angles with fluidics like gases and water and stuff like that, not a great plan. It tends to obstruct flow, if you don't know that. 90 degree angles tend to make it more turbulent and less efficient. And even though I am not particularly of the mind that this needs to be the most efficient thing I've ever made, or efficient really at all, I would prefer that it not be completely useless. So I'm going to flatten out this box a little bit. We can move this over here. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I know it's Wednesday at this point, and actually I'm recording this on time, believe it or not, on time being late. I'm recording this as of the time that you're probably watching this, or as of the time that this video goes up. I'm actually recording this the Monday before, so I've got some work to do. I don't really like the idea of having my phone there, but it'll, you know what? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah. All right, so once more, bring our blower back up. I apologize about a couple of previous videos where I have been seen adjusting my pants like crazy or forgetting to, which is the more obscene one. I never really knew that the big and tall section was a thing, and I'm slightly obsessed with this. If you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you may know this. I'm slightly obsessed with the fact that I now own some shirts that are actually big and tall because I have a long torso. I found this out recently, which is really exciting because that means that, oh man, now I can actually find a size that fits me and I can raise my arms and it doesn't show my midriff or my butt. So it feels kind of nice to actually have clothes that fit, because otherwise I have to go up to like 2XL, and then it's like huge around my waist and not satisfying my need. I think in the last video I had talked about, if you want to see like a tool walkthrough, like what tools I have in my shop that I use for any number of these things, please let me know. Once again, I'd be happy to discuss literally anything that I do on the channel. Well, almost anything. But we can have that discussion at some other point. So the idea is I want to take this opening and transfer it onto this. Now, I had measured it earlier, and I gave rough estimates, so might as well do it again, right? Because measure twice, not because you screwed up, obviously not, we don't admit that. Yeah, because I think I had it at 5.5, and we are at like 5 inches by 2.5 inches. 5 by 2.5. So we can actually write that here. 5 inches by 2.5 inches. And that will render us a rectangular hole. Now, I need to be able to curl this up into into some sort of fixture that can like rest inside is probably the best way to go. It's not a great place for it to really sit there. Maybe right there and then up top. Sorry, you can't really see what I'm, maybe like in this gap here, or and up top or something along those lines. It's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. That would give us a little bit of grab. I need to make a tunnel. What's it's please do not judge me for my poor writing or my poor drafting. I'm measuring right now my cardboard so I know what kind of spacing I've got. it wasn't an actual drafting course when I was in like middle school or junior high or whatever, but it was a class on like, I don't know, did any of you ever take the class that was like woodworking because it was a woodworking class, but it was woodworking and like building CO2 cars and stuff like that, because I took that class and I loved it. I remember the professor's name, or the teacher's name, Mr. Baumgartner, and he was fantastic. He was salty the earth kind of guy, but he was very knowledgeable and very respectful and very nice about everything. And he taught us what we needed to know, but he harped on it when we were working on building those CO2 cars, as well as the Balsa Wood Bridge project, which a bunch of people have done. He made us make sure that we didn't have any chicken's feet kind of things going on with our arrows for our dimensions. So we were screwing up. We actually had to use rulers and triangles and things like that to measure out our lengths and our angles and things like that. It was amazing experience, and some of it has really stuck with me. Some of it obviously has not, unfortunately, because it was a very valuable class to have. Excuse me. That said, I have 9.5 inches wide by 12.5 inches long per each one of these rectangles in the middle. These outer flaps are a different story. That being said, that means that in order to make my actual piece, I'm going to need 2 of these rectangles at minimum, because I need to have at least enough to cover the 5-inch height, and then I've got to have twice, so because that's going to be 5 inches here, 5 inches here, and then I have to have 2.5 inches on each of those, so that's another 5 inches. So that's going to be, I'm going to have, just a 1/2 inch more than what one of these rectangles is. So that's kind of a bummer, but maybe I can eke it out from the taper. I'm not really positive on how I want to do that. I could do it off the 12-inch side, because I'm going to need 10 inches. Oh no, plus wraparound. Yeah, because I got to have the 5, 10. Yeah, I got to have 15 inches in total, and neither one of these dimensions is going to wrap around that properly. You see what I mean? This is going to be 5 inches, 2.5 inches, 5 inches, 2.5 inches. So that's going to be 5 inches for these widths, and then another 10 inches for the height. So that's going to make us a 15-inch rectangle that I need around, if I'm doing my math right, which I probably am not, because I am bad at on-the-fly math, and any YouTuber that does math on the fly on YouTube is a wizard. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to cut yet. I want to taper this down. I have this lip here, which again, it's not like I'm doing the smoke test stuff where I'm doing like a full-on aerodynamic test, but I need to be able to verify that this is going to fit. Essentially, I'm hoping to be able to fold something like that. I don't know if I can articulate this well. I want to be able to take this cardboard, right, and essentially stuff it there. Six-inch. I know it's supposed to be, like, theoretically the same length, but you never really know, because technically with these severances in here, these flaps could be a different width. Okay, so this would be 12 12, this would be 21.5 inches. And that would be enough, I think. I have plenty of cardboard. I keep putting my tools away and I need to stop. They say never cut towards yourself. Whoever they are right. Do not cut towards yourself. I am not a trained professional. I shouldn't be doing it either. So I've got some measurements taken on my cardboard. Now what I need to do is I need to see if I can fold this appropriately. I need to have a 2.5 inch gap. Did I put my, oh, there it is. Because I'm a silly goose. All right, let's do it on this end here. We've got a full width here of, 21 and like a third. 21 and a third. And I need 15. That should leave me some extra space there. All right, so let's, 9.5. What's 9.5 divided by 3? 9.5 divided by 3 would be like 3 point, be like 3.175 or 3.18, I think. That's complicated. I don't like that. Most of the time I just try to fit it up directly rather than taking measurements, which is how you end up with things like the face of this. Don't do what I did. Learn from my mistakes, please. Excuse me, again, very dry, a little bit sick. Again, it's been a heck of a year for illness for me. Generally speaking though, if half of my work here would be, it'd be 10 and a half, it'd be 10 point, geez. No, if half point would be like 10 3/4. So if that's half, then quarters would be like, it wouldn't be 5, it'd be 5.25, it'd be like 5.3, I think. So we could fold roughly there. And then it'd be this, and we'd be sitting right around here, I think. That's our third mark. What I'm thinking is measure these two marks here. That should sit us at, okay, just over 10 inches. I would prefer to have my 10-inch mark. No, I want 5. I need 5. What? I keep doubling it in my head. I need to not. I wonder, could I just, take this and cut angles and make that into a wedge? I still got to fit it up properly to this though. So, you know what? This will be my sacrificial piece. I don't know why I keep putting that away. I need my knife. Sacrificial piece here is going to be, I need 5 inches. And we're gonna just take it the full thing here, right? This whole panel. So 5 inches wide. So from here to 5 inch is going to be about there. All right, and then from there, there. What happened to my straight edge? I've got a straight edge. As an early Mother's Day present for my wife, I bought her a greenhouse, and it's currently in boxes because it's an assemblable kit, or a kit for assembly. And the ground is still frozen. So for me to go out and try to dig anything up to level it out, not gonna happen. So we want to take this here. Always important to have a very sharp blade in your actual knife. Like, incredibly important. If you don't know the dangers of a dull blade, I suggest you read up. Try not to find images if you can avoid it. Dull blades will absolutely hurt you. Every chance they get. Every chance they get. Check my time. Dull blades are a bad idea. So we cut there. Let's do a little proofing there. Cool. If you can't see what I'm doing, which I assume you probably can't, that's okay. I kind of muddied that up a little bit, but again, it is what it is. I'm just cutting all the way through the cardboard at this point. Try not to force the blade in any one direction because I want to make sure I'm following my lines to a decent degree. I almost cut myself there because I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy talking to you lovely people, and I'm not blaming you, but come on, let's be a little bit better next time. It's 2022, so come on. Anyway, so we should have a nice 5-inch width here. Let's check it out. Yep, so now, because we're going up, we need to have a little bit of lift there, which means I need to take out this corner. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for this video. I've had a couple of ideas for videos to put up lately, and it's been really hard to find motivation because I've had so much other stuff going on. Some of my family members are going through some crazy stuff right now, so I'm trying to help them out, get through tough times, and that's not always easy, you know. Let's do something like that. So I've been kind of torn in a couple of different directions, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff just constantly going on in every which direction. You know, it's a never-ending, man, there's a sharper incline than I would prefer. Let's try that. This cardboard holds up better than I anticipated, which is not a bad thing. There we go. Okay. So that's good. I'm not too worried about the space underneath. I know I said I was going to focus on capturing that draft down below, but I'm not super worried about that. Okay, so this is good. I can capture this down here with something else, with another piece. Now I want to copy this piece here. So I've got this piece. We're going to trace. Never underestimate the power of a good template. A good template will save your tuchus more times than you can count, and I'm not even joking. A good template doesn't do the job for you, but will almost always make the job easier. There we go. Since this is the first time I've really done a 2-camera setup on my own before, this video may be a little bit funky with the editing. I apologize, but I am. Ooh, that's a broken piece. Okay, that's fine. That's just the way this is going to have to go. This is going to be a lot of trial and error for me. It's actually surprisingly difficult to do this kind of production stuff on your own. It's surprisingly difficult because there's a whole lot of synchronization and verifying that your camera and your audio are matched up, but then it has to be your camera and your audio or your audio and your like multiple cameras on this level, this particular production size. I keep saying the wrong thing. I apologize. When you have this kind of technology, thankfully, I'm very blessed in that I have the ability to purchase said technology and use it, and I have the knowledge that allows me to use it, which is phenomenal. I've been given a lot of opportunity, and I've taken a lot of opportunity to do so. But it doesn't make it any less work to try to make sure that everything is timed up. For instance, to add a layer of complexity, my Canon camera that I'm using, my Rebel T6, is not a video camera. It is a snapshot camera with video capability, which is not a video camera. It can record no longer than like 12 minutes, I think, 11 minutes, before it just stops recording. And if you don't know that and you go out to a long shoot, it actually becomes quite an issue. Can actually cause you quite a few problems. So it's good to know before you go in, before you jump into trying to film. But it's not hard to overcome, but it's something you need to pay attention to for sure. Because otherwise you record a bunch of video that, or you think you're recording a bunch of video, you're actually not recording, which is a huge bummer. And then you end up having to redo a bunch of stuff, and that's no good. What's our width on this? This is way long, or way wider than I need, which is perfect. And we'll go like that. There we go. That's exactly where I didn't want that to go. Okay, check our timer. Cool. So I have it set up. I have a timer on my phone that's set up to tell me every 10 minutes or so to make sure I don't run out of time. Because I really don't want to be doing something on my workbench here and then have the Canon go out so you can't see what I'm doing. Don't forget to drink water, y'all. I said y'all, and I meant y'all. I have adopted over the years, I've adopted colloquialisms from a bunch of different people. I work with a guy from Tennessee. He says y'all all the time. I used to work with a woman by the name of Barb, who used to live in Texas. So y'all has become part of my vernacular. I've watched way too much Letterkenny, and my youth pastor when I was growing up was from Canada. So that's why you hear me say "eh" every once in a while. My current boss lives downstate from me, or my current manager lives downstate from me, and he uses the term "no" at the end of a question, like or at the end of a statement, asking a question, kind of like the French, I think, where it's like, you really want to make sure that you're doing this, no? Or something like that. So like, I pick up on that. And as I'm listening to people talk, if they're not from around where I'm used to being around, I start to talk in the same like vernacular or the same accent that they do, which I'm sure is like super annoying for them. And to anybody that I've done that to in my personal life, I apologize. I'm not trying to be offensive. I can't control it. My brain is just like, oh yeah, no, this is how we're supposed to talk now. It picks up on it pretty quickly. And as I'm sure that's why a lot of people, when they move to another country, actually run into that, where their accent just starts to develop over time. So I'm sure I'm not unique, but it feels so insulting because I'm not in any way, shape, or form from their area. I have never lived outside of where I live now within a couple of hours, really. I've always lived in this area, so sorry to anybody that I may have offended through the way that I accidentally mimic them. I did it to an English woman not that long ago. I felt so bad because I did not mean to. She's very proudly English, which is great. I have no problem with that. But I think because she and I are good friends, I think that she thinks I'm mocking her, and I'm not. It's just I can't help it. But maybe she gets it from other people too, and I'm just being overly self-conscious. You know, that's always a possibility. My anxiety does get the better of me from time to time, which I don't know if I've talked all that much about on this channel. But anxiety is a thing that I deal with pretty regularly. I am on medication for it, but that only goes so far, and I don't really want to be hopped up on anything or taking anything that alters my mind beyond a point where I can recognize myself too much. My anxiety manifested itself through some pretty hefty mood swings. I'm not going to say I'm manic, because I'm not depressed by any stretch. I don't know what the politically correct term is. I apologize. But I don't have an actual depression diagnosis or anything like that, and I don't display any of those symptoms of actual depression. But the anxiety is me through and through, and mine was manifesting in mood swings, typically hairpin trigger anger. And I still got a little bit of it, obviously, but it's not nearly what it was. So I'm very thankful for the medication that I'm on. I can also control a bit of my dosage, which is huge for me because I don't like taking medication anyway. And so if I can avoid taking medication, I absolutely will. So I try my best not to. And it's not because I have an aversion to medication. It's just I personally don't like taking it. So let that be your PSA. If you're struggling with any kind of mental health issues, I really highly recommend, or if somebody says, hey, you may want to talk to somebody, do it. It's worth some time. I know it's expensive. Not everybody has the money. But I encourage you, do your best to save up, because it can save your life, or it can save another person's life, because even if you're not doing it for you, somebody else may see that you powered through and you had the opportunity, or you made the opportunity for yourself to go talk to somebody, and you needed that. And maybe they need that realization that it's okay to talk to somebody about it. And medication is not a bad thing in all cases. So there's your PSA. Mental health is a real thing. It's an important thing. Take care of yourselves. It's more important than you think it is. So anyway, I'm not a psychologist. Don't take any of this as actual medical advice. But I don't think telling you, hey, go talk to your doctor and see what's up is too controversial a statement. At least I hope not. If it is, man, we won't go into that conversation. All right, so now we're just tearing off some tape strips. They don't need to be super consistently sized. They just need to be a good enough size to hold things. Oops. And it doesn't have to be good. It just needs to hold for a little bit. And I say that because open knife, don't. I need to assemble this. Let's make sure that these fit properly. Yeah, I can form those. Okay. So I'm going to lay down this one, I think. These two, let's do this one first, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. So we're going to lay this down like that, which means I want another one like right here. Duct tape is not the best for this. Honestly, I wish I had some masking tape on me. I probably do somewhere in the house, but I don't know where. So we're going to set those down there. And then we're going to take this strip here. And yeah, since this is the sacrificial end, we're going to do this. I'm laying it up like this so that I naturally create my fold gap here where the corners are going to meet together, if that makes sense. And I'll go through and I'll tape this like actual ductwork down the length of it when I get to that point. But we're not quite there yet. We're going to take another piece here and another piece here. And I hope that the Canon can pick this up okay. If not, I apologize. Again, trial and error. Okay, so from here, I want to make sure that these are like this, right? Yep, our drastic edges are where we want them. Go there. We're going to go like this. That's way off. That's exactly what you want to see. It's okay. Okay, and now we've got that. Now, probably what it will be the most difficult one, I don't have enough tape for. I've only got the one strip. So we're going to take this, drop that there. Cut ourselves 4 individual strips. And then I need to make sure that this is still going. Hopefully it is. It is, and this is also a great timer for me. Okay, cool. Okay, so first things first on the realist. Drop this down here. Like that. Another one like that. Get off my finger, please. If you ever have trouble with tape sticking to your fingers, use your fingernails. They're a lot harder for duct tape specifically to stick to. It can save you some frustration down the line, if you did not know that. So now here we're going to, yeah, I think that should be fine. We'll put that like that, and hopefully that will aim properly like that. That'll be good. We can wrap the, well, no, let's not wrap them. Now we're going to put these in place. There we go. Come on, that's okay. It's harder for it to stick to your fingernails, not by any stretch impossible. Okay, and then yeah, we'll throw that down like that. Press these down so they stay in place, and then fold over, then fold over like that. And it only took us 45 minutes to get here. Took me 45 minutes to make a box. To make a box. No, that's fine. So from here, I can bend these down. Yeah, let's do that. So once again, tape strips. Is that Epic Mealtime from back in the day? And bacon strips and bacon strips and bacon strips. This is, and taping strips and taping strips and taping strips. There we go. There we go. I say there we go a lot because I don't know what I'm doing. Colored commentary. I come from a streaming background, and so like I'm so used to having to fill dead air and silence and stuff like that from to actually playing video games and stuff. But now I'm not really. I haven't streamed in months, and that's okay. Honestly, like I miss part of it. There's a lot of stress when you're trying to put out content that nobody's watching, honestly, and it's not a problem. It's not a pity party or anything like that. It's stressful, and it's kind of like demoralizing to continue to. I don't want to say lie to myself and think that I'm going to get more viewership. I was okay on Twitch. Like I was getting, 5 or 6 viewers here and there when I was playing Hades pretty regularly, but it's been a long time since I've done that, and that's totally fine. So now we've got this sharp. The foam is catching us. That's fine. Let's okay. Let's see. It's not going to hurt us to try it out. Grab this. Watch as it explodes somehow and starts a house fire. Don't know how that would even be possible. I have ideas on how that could be possible. Never mind. Let's check our time here. Cool. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's fine. We do have... Okay, yeah, no, I know why. Yes, okay, so we're actually going to sever this tape here. If I end up wanting to retape it later, I can. But we are going to sever this tape. Tape, tape, sever this tape. Dumbledore! Give ourselves a little bit of play here. And look down there. Okay. Much better. Cool. That should be good. And now, I could literally just taper this. Now what I need to do is I need to find a way to actually taper this box down. I don't know if you can see this that well, sorry. I need to find a way to taper this box down so it swells a little bit, but then it drops down, which really should not be difficult. I should be able to shave my sides down if I want to, or if that's the best way to do this. Check the total time. Oh, yep, I forgot to reset this. That's fine. 9:43 p.m. So, yeah, let's get this rolling. So I want to sever this tape here. And I'm just going to angle that in like that, I think. And I can probably get a nice long piece of tape here. Taper that down. Taper that down. Okay. I'm actually going to pressure fit this. So I'm going to squeeze these pieces, these flaps to the inward a little bit more than they're supposed to be. And that should create enough pressure, enough thrust pressure against the edges of this that I can still adjust this, but it's going to generally stay in place. And that should give me my downward force. So I should be able to angle this now. I should be able to fit this in now. Get that a little bit more direct and try again. Oh, yes. I love that. So we've got okay pressure here, right? Like, we've got okay pressure here. And we're gonna drop this down. I don't know if this is actually gonna like show up well on camera. But then when I drop it down, we've got like real solid pressure coming out of that. So that is essentially our design. Cardboard is a beautiful tool. Do not underestimate the power of corrugated cardboard. This is phenomenal. This, however, is very flammable. And so I can't actually use this for my blower, but this gives me templating. This gives me templating for cutting this out of plywood or literally anything else. I can make it out of sheet metal if I want to, but this is great. And this little adjustment, I might try to find a way to keep that, maybe with a screw or something like that, for an actual like airflow adjustment. So I have more control. So I have granular control through my rheostat, but also granular control of my actual airflow. That remains to be seen. But yeah, I think that does it for this episode. This has been a long one. I apologize for the length of this video, but I'm really excited about this. I hope you like the new setup. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. But like it if you enjoyed this. I'm stuttering a lot. I apologize. If you have suggestions or if you have ideas on how I could do this better, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I know there's about a bajillion different ways I could do this better, but I am always happy to explore other options. So this is my setup for now. Again, I may end up doing this for the propane, or I may end up scrapping all of this and going the propane route, but that's okay. We're here to make mistakes. We're here to learn. We're here to be a little bit better by the end of the day tomorrow. So thanks so much for watching, and until next time, have a good one.